Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News live from the Student Union. I'm David.
And I'm Grace. Coming up on today's show, an Ozfest Recap,
A Students for Democratic Society rally,
Cybersecurity at UNF,
the weather forecast,
and a sports update. Stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Ozfest has come and gone, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't feedback from the students in attendance to unpack. And come on, who doesn't want to hear about how much the University of North Florida paid the performers? This year's annual event saw 4 performers, 1 from UNF and 3 outside. Vivio Foreign was paid $55,000, BOB was paid $30,000, and Young Gravy was paid an astonishing $115,000, according to contracts sent to Spinnaker. The event saw a ton of guests and what some students said were too few utilities. Osprey Life and Productions, who planned the event, told Spinnaker that they would be increasing porta potties next year, hope to have additional merchandise, and are reviewing their food supply list. To see the full details behind this year's Ozfest, check out our article at unfspinnaker.com.
Students for a Democratic Society at UNF are holding a rally on Tuesday, February 21st, next week at 1:30 p.m. in the UNF Peace Plaza. The campus student-run advocacy group is rallying in response to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' pledge last month to defund all university initiatives in the state universities. The group has 4 demands of UNF President Moaz Lamayam, which they plan to include in a letter to his office next week. Number 1, SDS wants the president to publicly disavow what they call attacks on academics and free speech. Number 2, they want Lamayam to commit to a non-compliance with what SDS call, quote, targeted list-making attacks. Number 3, SDS wants Lamayam to maintain already existing commitments to diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. And lastly, number 4, they want Lamayam to commit to protecting tenure for faculty.
University of North Florida Information Technology Services recently received $750,000 to support much-needed virtual cloud computing and cybersecurity infrastructure initiatives. According to a Tuesday press release, the money will allow university resources to be used anytime, anywhere. These are some of the additions according to the release. The enhanced virtual cloud computing infrastructure will address the need to create a secure learning and research environment for UNF students, faculty, and staff. Benefiting both traditional and non-traditional students, it will help provide a consistent set of tools, software, security, and level of interactivity with faculty during their academic career at UNF. The virtual infrastructure will help cybersecurity instruction, research, and operations, according to the release. The environment will seamlessly allow remote access to software restricted to running on university-owned hardware, the university's release said.
And now to Riley for your sports update.
What's up, Ospreys? I'm Riley. Let's get into this week's action. Men's basketball won in exciting fashion Thursday night, taking down Lipscomb University 114-111 in double overtime. The Ospreys quickly found themselves down 15 points, but rallied back in the first half to take a 7-point lead going into halftime. UNF led for the entire second half. That is until Lipscomb snagged the lead with less than 3 minutes left. Jose Placer led a late charge to tie things up and send it into overtime. One overtime period wasn't enough to separate the two, though, as a second one led to the thrilling finale. With just 5 seconds left, Jarius Hicklin drilled the game-winning three-pointer to give UNF the win. Baseball opens up the 2023 season tonight against Murray State University. They'll face off against the Racers 3 times this weekend before closing out the opening homestand against USC upstate next week. Across the sidewalk from Harmon Stadium, softball will face a trio of opponents this weekend, including household names such as Penn State and Memphis. They'll look to expand on their successful start to the season this weekend. I'll see you next time, Ospreys. Swoop!
Hey, Grace, have you seen the newest episode of Supernatural Archives?
No, what's that? Is that a Spinnaker show?
It most certainly is.
Who does it?
Me. I essentially write scary stories about UNF and its campus.
That's so cool. What other shows do we have at Spinnaker TV?
I'm glad you asked. We have Flicks, a show about recent movie releases, Spinnaker on the Street, where you, the audience, are asked different opinions on different topics. On the Couch, a collaboration with Spinnaker Radio, where we talk to local bands around Jacksonville, a pop culture show called Chronically Online, and Spinnaker Tries, where we try random things around campus and beyond.
Speaking of Spinnaker Tries, let's go to Grae to try out our first weather segment.
Thanks, Grace. Today's weather is looking like a nice sunny day with a high of 83 and a low of 44 with a chance of thunderstorms after 4 p.m. This weekend's looking like the weather will be nice, but Saturday's going to be pretty chilly with a high of 60. For next week, we've got highs in the mid-70s to the upper 80s all of next week. Look out for some pretty neutral weather next week, and that's the weather. Back to you guys.
That's just about all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Remember, consider donating to support Spinnaker at UNF through the link in the description below.
For all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com.
Also, make sure to follow us on our Instagram at UNF Spinnaker and check out the rest of our YouTube for more content.
As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Grace.
And I'm David. You know, since we talked so much about Spinnaker tries, here's a little teaser for what we're doing next. We'll see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.